welcome to the Ubf Podcast, brought to you from the Bella Vista Hotel. I'm Abz.
And I'm Thomas.
And we welcome you to our first episode.
The inaugural episode.
The inaugural episode. It's going to be a great one, don't worry.
Absolutely.
You want to tell us a bit about yourself, Tom?
You want me to start off? Do I have the pleasure? Okay, so football has consumed my life for the past, 22? So since I was about 5 years old. Anyone did the maths on that? 16, 17 years?
17 years, mate.
17 years of my life, yeah. So I've done the full circle. I've done the whole Trinity. I've played, I've refed, and I've coached. Currently I'm a coach for Southern Districts.
Beautiful.
In the NPL scheme there. So I've made my way through coaching, and through that I've understand and sort of know the tactical side of the game more than the average fan, otherwise known as Abdul. Joking. But as the podcast name says, we are united by football. So Abz has sort of got a different way of how football found his heart. Abz, if you want to explain that way.
Yes, so I played everything but football growing up, mate. Rugby league, basketball. We can even tried European handball at one stage, mate.
How was that?
Rubbish. But yeah, it was a German man that came into my life when I came across this club.
Mesut Ozil,
mate.
That's the one.
Look, I've continued the trend. It's Kai Havertz now. So
that's a controversial one, guys.
It's mate. I've backed him since day one. So I've loved this sport for I'd say about 10 years now.
Yeah. But
the thing with me, and you'll learn, is when I love something, I go.
You devote it.
I go balls deep.
Absolutely.
So
100%.
that's pretty much it, mate. I love my FIFA.
Yeah.
Love my ultimate team.
How's the full champs looking? What's your record?
Look, I haven't even done my qualies yet this week. You know, we've been prepping this podcast, so I haven't really had the chance to get going with that.
Abs, if you don't mind, just like it's been seven to 8 weeks in the making this podcast, and yeah, it's thanks to the Bella Vista guys again to setting this up for us.
Yeah.
It's been an absolute honour to work with them, and yeah, really looking forward to our 5-6 years, hopefully forever, of our success.
Mate, hopefully, and shall we get started?
We shall. Take it away.
All right, so let's start with the Premier League wrap up, mate. My boys Arsenal.
Yeah, so guys, if you didn't know, Abz is a massive Arsenal fan, as you can tell with the Odegaard in my top behind me, and obviously what he's wearing as well. Yeah. Obviously, I'm a Chelsea fan as well there. Mate, the mighty 2 times Champions League winners.
Yeah, let's not talk about 10th place, but yeah, that's okay.
How many Champions Leagues you got, just out of curiosity?
We've got a Cup Winners' Cup. That's okay.
Oh, it's coming, baby.
It's coming. Don't worry, this year. We'll get to that later. Don't worry.
Talk to me.
So 4-3, Arsenal Luton.
What a game.
What a game. Credit to Luton Town, I have to say.
100%.
Scott Drinkwater. Not Scott Drinkwater. He's the fullback for North Queensland Cowboys. Danny Drinkwater.
That's the one.
Performance of his life, mate, on his birthday.
100%.
But I want to start somewhere else. It's a disaster class. David Raya, mate. What happened?
Mate, we're going to get on to Chelsea Man U later. But his distribution in that game was poor for me. I didn't like how he could play with his feet. However, as a goalkeeper, we need to use our hands. Is that correct?
Correct.
And he made 2 errors, 2 humongous errors that nearly cost him the game. And if it wasn't for our $125 million man, is that the one? Or
105.
105. We've robbed West Ham.
Yeah.
If you haven't known, there's actually a GoFundMe page that some Arsenal fans have set up.
Yeah, look, some clubs spend $105 million and it works out. Some clubs have tried it 3 or 4 times, and you know.
Are you referring to a team in blue? Or?
Correct. Yes. I could talk about many teams that have done it, but you know, my club know how to spend their money.
True.
Anyway, we're driving off here, mate.
Yeah,
David Raya.
Yeah.
I'm still backing him. I still think Mikel's made the right decision. Okay. I just think that the problem with David Raya is when he makes one mistake, it turns into 3.
Correct.
I have to disagree. I think his distribution wasn't as bad as he's making it out to seem. I think it's his handling. I think that he's not a big keeper. He's not.
In terms of height?
In terms of height. Yeah, and I think that Aaron Ramsey had the same problem.
Do you think he can command his box well? Because obviously off the corner, it didn't. There was a few times in the game where he didn't sort of organise his back line, organise what he sort of was supposed to command, and he made a mess of it.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that Aaron Ramsey had the same problem. I think you can't point and fault this and that and whatever you want to talk about David Raya and not forget that Aaron Ramsdale's problem is he gave people anxiety trying to catch a corner.
Yes, but then if you go back to the point where you were saying where you back Mikel and you back his decision, why would Mikel sign 2 similar keepers? Obviously, I understand they're a bit different, but in terms of their weaknesses, I think they've got similar weaknesses.
Same weaknesses. different strengths. I
Do
think.
you want to elaborate?
I think Ramsdale's a mentality monster.
Gets distracted easily, but
you could I'm telling you could St James's Park. He turns around and gives it back to him. David Raya probably starts crying, mate.
yeah.
But with David Raya, his distribution's one of the best in the league. In all honesty, yeah, it's been a bit poor, it's been a bit nervy, but that's what you get when you go from Brentford to Arsenal, mate.
Correct. Yeah, it's a bigger expectation than on the club as well.
Yeah.
The size of the club.
Yeah, and it's much more than that. I think at the end of the day, when you have 2, 3, they had 6 shots that game.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a shot every 15 minutes on average.
Yep.
Okay. Brentford is facing a shot, God knows, every fucking 5 or 6 minutes. But
Thomas Frank Ball, man.
yeah, look at Edison. He falls asleep, mate.
Yeah.
He can fall asleep because there's times where you don't face a shot till the 85th minute. You haven't had to do anything.
Mate, against Aston Villa, he was lively every 30 seconds.
Yeah, he was. Because they had 23 shots to 2, mate, whatever it was.
We'll get into that.
But I've got some stats here, mate.
Talk to me.
I've brought some stats about David Raya and Aaron Ramsdale.
Yep.
And it is 8 games played for Ramsdale, 15 played for Raya. Okay. 3 clean sheets for Ramsdale, 7 clean sheets for Raya. Okay. Conceded, that is 13 goals for David Raya, 8 for Aaron Ramsdale. When you turn that into conceded per game, it's 1 to 0.9. So David Raya beats him there just.
Yeah.
Save percentage, 65% to 61. Passing accuracy, David Raya's got 9% on Ramsdale. XG conceded is an interesting one. Aaron Ramsdale was 4.9 XG conceded 8.
Wow.
David Raya, 12.2 conceded 13. So David Raya is a lot more similar. They've both conceded more than they should have.
Yes, correct.
I still back it. I back. You know what? And I think it's past the whole goalkeeper section. I trust Mikel.
Yeah. If we want to move on from the keepers thing as well, I don't think that in your team you didn't really need a keeper, if you know what I'm saying. You had Ramsdale. He was good enough. He's been called up to the England squad a couple of times. Hasn't played a game, if I'm correct.
He's played a few.
Played a couple.
Not too many, to be honest with you.
Not any significant ones.
No.
But I don't think that a keeper was needed. So I think Ray has been given unnecessary pressure, in my opinion, from you guys, because I think you guys had a decent keeper who the fan base adored.
Yep.
And now you've chucked this new guy in.
Yep.
And has it worked? Is it?
In all honesty, some of the Arsenal fans are a bit too attached to some players.
Yeah.
They were having a hissy fit when Kieran Tierney went on loan. I get it. Kieran Tierney is such a one-dimensional left back. I love him. him. I've shown you my Kieran Tierney kit. I went and got a Kieran Tierney kit.
Guys, he's got 51 Arsenal jerseys. I'm not even lying to you.
I could fill the whole team with 2 benches. But in all honesty, I think they need to build a bridge and get over it.
Okay.
I think you want to win titles, you got to be ruthless. Yep. And there's going to be games where David Raya comes in clutch with his passing.
Yep.
And you need that. Like, I know he's had shaky moments. I'm not blind to it.
Yep.
But he looks so much more calm on the ball. He looks natural with the ball at his feet. Aaron Ramsdale, you get within 10 meters, he starts having a panic attack. Yeah, but he does have a good pass in him. But it's a matter of getting the nerves out of there. And if we can sell Ramsdale for more than what we bought him, that's a profit. And then we've got young keepers. You can come have them. Carl Hines been at the club for like 5 or 6 years.
Yep.
Play him as your second string. Give him a chance.
Well, we saw what happened with Martinez as well. Yeah. Got a chance. Look where he's World Cup winner.
Yeah.
Saved 2-3 key penalties in the World Cup as well, and obviously he's helping Aston Villa. But we'll move outside of the field. We'll move on to our German man,
King Kai.
King Kai, formerly my player at Chelsea. Didn't have the best of times there. However, should we go down to his last 5 games?
3 goals in his last 4 games.
Wow.
My friend. And you know what? That confidence is coming back.
Yeah.
He's taking players on. He's getting into the right areas. Yeah. And I honestly think the key is Gabriel Jesus. I think him and Jesus, they might be about fucking a whole foot difference in height. But they're the same player.
I think they are. I think Kai, you can't question his hold-up play. No. The way he brings other people into the game is a testament to him, and I think that's one of his key attributes.
Yeah.
I think where people start to attack Kai is his end product, and that has been missing at Chelsea. But we never could raise an issue where he didn't bring players into the game. And I think with Kai, he's cooking. He's cooking, and he's getting towards it's got to the. I'm a Chelsea fan, as you know, but I can't hate the guy. I can't. He's one of those players where you can't hate.
You can't hate him, mate. You can't hate him. But I'm telling you, mate. Look, I think Mikel's going to get the best out of him.
Okay.
And like I said, I trust my coach.
Yeah.
I trust if he's getting rid of a player, if he's bringing in a player, and I get it. You're going to play teams. When we played Brentford, they parked the bus. This is Brentford we're talking about. They like to play expensive football.
They do.
They parked 10 players in the box.
Yeah.
Kai
They were
Havertz.
scared. They were scared.
Manchester City, we've played them twice this season. Kai Havertz was a big difference into why we beat them. Well, he came on and made a difference against them in the Premier League.
Yep.
The Community Shield, he started the game at striker.
I think against Man City, I think he's a little weapon because
He's a big game player.
he's a big game player, but also when you've got the likes of Martinelli, Saka running off him,
Yeah.
I think that's what Pep's scared of. And we saw against Villa, we'll get into Villa, but just quickly, we saw against Villa where they had the likes of McGinn and they had the likes of McGinn got the ball and then you got Diaby who came on, obviously, but you got the likes
Leon
of
Bailey. Leon Bailey was
mate,
running.
tore him up.
Yeah.
Tore him up.
100% agree. And I just think that if he can get the best out of him, it's only going to benefit the team.
Absolutely.
And you know what? I've made a bet with one of the boys. Made a bet with our boy Matt. I told him if Kai Havertz does not score 10 goals or more in the Premier League this season, I'll buy him whatever key he wants.
Does that include assists or just purely 10 goals?
10 goals.
Wow.
Goals. And we're already on 3. We're on 3, mate. All right? So, look, I genuinely think that, like, all jokes aside, he's going to thrive. And he's playing a role which is free. He's playing off Jesus.
Yeah.
His positioning is just sublime.
Yeah, it's freaky. He's got a weird understanding of where to be at the right time.
It's Berbatov. I'm not joking. It's Berbatov. It's that Bergkamp centre forward playoff whoever's in front of you type of style.
I don't think we can make the comparison until he gets more goals and more and develops an end product.
110%. I'm not talking in the accomplishments, even though he has won a Champions League. He's probably the one and only player in our team, and Jorginho, that's won a Champions League. But his style of play is just, it's not pretty to watch.
No.
It's not. And that's why people get on him so much.
Correct.
And, like, just give him time. And look at him now.
Don't make the mistake of saying, or our fans saying, that he's a one-dimensional player, because he's quite frankly not. And if you saw the Jorginho interview as well, Jorginho said, I think a week ago in the interview, he said that if you're a fan of football, you have to be a fan of Kai. Yep. And this man has played with him at Chelsea and has played with him at Arsenal. So he's got 3 or 4 years of seeing him play. Yeah. And as a teammate, obviously you want to respect your teammates and only speak highly of them. But I think he's one of those players, Jorginho, where he'll tell the truth and he's not going to fabricate stuff. Yeah. Although he shouldn't have got third best in the awards. That was a bit high. Sorry to our Italian fans. But I agree with him. You can't hate the guy. He's trying to bring other players into play, and he's an unselfish player. Any thoughts on that in terms of...
No, I agree. And honestly, if you just watch a few highlights from this season, whether it's I'm so used to saying Europe, the Champions League, the Premier League, he's there. Yeah. And he's always willing to pass by. He's always there to support.
Absolutely.
Like, I think it was the game against... I forgot what it was. We beat them, Sevilla. The 2-0 game against Sevilla.
That was the first time we versed them.
The first time we versed them. I'm pretty sure. The goal Saka scored, he was there.
Yes.
The goal, I think it was Martinelli that scored it. He was there.
Did he get the assist for Saka's goal?
No, but I think it was whoever played left back that game. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
But, because he's selfless. Honestly, I'm enjoying watching him cook. And I've can't forget the 10 goals I scored in 3 games with him against you in FIFA. So, look, before we move on from this game,
talk to me.
I respect Luton Town, mate.
Yes, we have to give definitely a mention to Luton Town, especially Chelsea's former boy again, Ross Barkley, on his birthday.
Drink water.
It was a great goal.
Yeah.
But, again, sorry to bring back to your boy, Raya, he messed up on it. You should have... I think as a keeper, you have to... Obviously, got to anticipate he possibly going high, but I think as an experienced keeper who's played a year and a half, 2 years in the Prem, you have to know that those type of shots and the position of where he took it, that he was going low. He was going far post.
Look, mate, you saw me. I saved those ones in indoor, mate. I saved those ones in indoor. And I just realised I've been calling him Danny Drinkwater this whole time. It's Ross Barkley.
Correct.
So I don't know why I've had Danny Drinkwater. So I've even written it down as Drinkwater in my notes, I'm pretty sure.
They're both Chelsea flops, and that's my club. So
look, that's one of many flops. But on to the next game.
Talk to me.
Good evening.
Good evening. I only have respect for Pep Guardiola, but I killed him.
I'm so disappointed. So disappointed.
Yeah, listen, I tell you what, they are missing Rodri and De Bruyne hard. Big time they're missing those players.
Rodri more than De Bruyne, mate, I have to say.
Yeah, I think there is no player in the Prem or in world football,
Yeah.
besides my boy Kante, maybe 3-4 years ago, that could do the thing that Rodri has done and showed Champions League. I think he won 3 men of the matches in the last campaign, and they're missing him. I think that's 4 games on the bounce they haven't had him for. And I'm sure that you saw the formation where they played with 4 at the back and they had the 2 there.
Yeah.
And they started with 4 centre backs. They had Stones and Akanji in the midfield. That's poor. That's really poor. And you've got Kovacic and Nunes, where I think that tells us that he doesn't trust their 2 centre mids.
Yeah, and that's one point I brought up to you a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
is I think he has lost trust in a lot of that squad.
Yep.
Like the fact that he's playing Rico Lewis ahead of Nunez and it's not a good look. And we've seen it before.
Yep.
Cancelo, the minute he lost trust in Cancelo, he stopped playing it.
Yep.
He found himself at Bayern and then he was off to Barcelona. Like
Correct.
it's Pep for you, but he's got his people he relies, and you can't fault it. He's won sextuples and Champions Leagues and trebles, and it's a method that works.
It's his way or the highway. He's rubbed players off before.
Yeah.
My boy Zlatan, he's rubbed players off before the wrong way.
Yeah.
Cancelo as well. That's another one. And I think he's he's got those post-treble blues.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I think he's maybe starting to lose that dressing room just a tad. I think 2, 3. Yeah, no, I think 2, 3 key players in there maybe have had enough of the ways he's disciplined and stuff like that. It earns results, absolutely. But I do think 2 or 3 of those players, and all you need is one. You know it. You've been in dressing room before, likewise with me. Not at that level, obviously, but all it takes is one player, and it starts to slowly drip feed into the others. And look, 4 games without a win.
Yeah, but I think there's enough respect for Pep to be able to look past that. Let's be honest here. I think Haaland's ego isn't as big as he used to be at Dortmund.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I think he's more willing to play for the team. He's more willing to come back, and that shows the level of respect everyone has for Pep.
Yep.
He's doing it for the team. He's doing it for Pep.
Correct.
You got players like Doku coming in. You got they're pulling their weight. It's just a matter of, I think, personnel. I think Nunez isn't the player that they thought they've signed. He's not as techy as Bernardo. He's not as defensive as Rodri.
Definitely
and
not.
he doesn't have a pass on him like De Bruyne.
Definitely not. I think in those windows they signed 2 very attacking midfielders in Kovacic and Nunes, not really a defensive sitting. And I think that's where they failed, because surely Pep knew that he wasn't going to play Phillips. Phillips has been at the club for a year now. I think 2 years, 1 year.
Yeah, it's his second season.
It's second season. Let's be honest. I think I've played more minutes in the Prem than he has.
Yeah.
So it's you would have to do better there. I think the recruitment there was poor. I think you should have signed this more defensive-minded midfielder for Man City, whereas he signed 2 attacking, and look what's happened.
Yeah, but you can't get Phillips out of the club.
No, definitely.
That's part of the problem. I don't think anyone would have picked him up.
No.
Maybe he could have gone to a lower league team, and they're not going to pay 50 mil.
Maybe Southampton, but he would have had to take a significant wage cut, and Man City should have been prepared for that.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah, but however, we can't look past. I understand your point. We can't look past though. It is Pep's worst performance in 20 what?
2020 or
2020? No, mate, it's longer than that. I think it's his worst performance ever in terms of shots. I think he's got 22 shots he's conceded.
Yeah. It was 22 shots too. I think the stats are here.
22-2.
If you 1 sec, there we go. The stats are disgusting.
Talk to me.
All right, so they did have more possession than Aston Villa, which is
that's
they
normal.
could do that in their sleep. In all honesty, we're looking at 22 shots to 2, 7 shots on target to 2, and those 2 shots came in within 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Haaland, he saved it the first time. Came back to him.
Beautiful second save as well from Haaland. Amazing second save.
Reminded me of myself, mate. Inspirational.
Mate, listen, we've got to speak about the ultimate performance as well.
Mate, better checking his prime.
Mate, Abdul check. That's the new name, guys. That's the new name. Talk to me, Abdul.
But
more stats.
Honestly,
it's concerning, isn't it?
It's concerning. Like, you go look at the clearances. When was the last time you saw Manchester City make 29 clearances in a game?
Poor. Really poor.
29. Yeah. And honestly, that game I watched there, that game should have finished at least 3 or 4-0.
Well, they hit the post. They had an offside goal. Yeah, both from Douglas Luiz.
Hit the post again when Douglas Luiz after they scored their first. And it's the positions they got in.
Oh, mate. Shocking. Especially that last one with I think 8 minutes to go, where Luiz hit the post with a bit of finesse outside the box. He was left unmarked for. He could have placed that. He had 5 to 10 seconds untouched.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it just will go to show you that come the end of the season, Rodri will regret. Let's just start with the red card.
Yeah,
then the injuries come along, and it's cost them points.
Yeah.
And like we played well against them when they came to the Emirates, for example.
True.
But I still think it makes a difference if he plays. I think that game could have finished 0-0.
Yeah.
Rodri sits in that position. He knows what he's doing. He's going to cut off Havertz's pass to Martinelli. And that shot possibly doesn't go in. But then you're leaving responsibilities of a defensive midfielder with the likes. Stones can do it. No problem. But Akanji isn't a ball-playing centre-back.
Correct.
He's getting better, but he does not look comfortable on the ball. Ake, for me, is having a crack at last 18 months.
Yes.
But so much responsibility on players that don't need it. So
even Guardiola as well. He's going to take time to adjust.
Yeah.
But he's playing in the back three. Normally for Croatia and for Bayer Leverkusen, he played in the back four.
Yeah.
So
played at left back.
True. He does play for left back sometimes as well, but he needs that time to adjust.
Yeah.
And however, I do think we need to mention the other team here instead of Man City. I think Aston Villa, quite simply, they cooked. They cooked them. And the celebrations at Villa Park were testimony to that. Yeah. Everyone lost it. And if you want to speak about that starting 11, I think that starting 11, do you want to run through it for me? I know.
It's a shame that starting 11 is going to cop it at 4:30 this morning. But yeah, it's honestly, they've slowly built one hell of a...
And if you look at the players they're out as well, I think they were missing Mings and Buendia.
Yeah.
So that is... It's scary when they come back. Obviously, Konsa's going to go. You got Cash there as well.
Yeah.
Do you want to run through me with that starting 11, please?
So I have Emi Martinez.
Yep.
Diego Carlos.
Yep.
Ezri Konsa, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Luca Digne, Pau Torres.
What a player, Pau Torres, by the way. Sorry to cut you off.
Right.
What a player. What a performance.
Put it this way. Diego Carlos and Pau Torres were both players that were highly sought by bigger
Your club
clubs.
wanted them.
We wanted Pau Torres many a times. Emery wanted Pau Torres at Arsenal. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, and even when Diego Carlos was at Sevilla, 3-4 clubs wanted him. City were linked.
Yeah.
Arsenal were linked.
Yeah.
And even a few German teams were linked as well. A lot of people wanted him.
Yeah. Like, these are players that were sought after, and they've taken the opportunity. They've seen the project at Aston Villa, and they've gone there. Douglas Luiz, we were after him last year.
Yep.
You've got John McGinn, as I say, their version of Jordan Henderson. Leon Bailey, we were after him a few times as well. You've got Boubacar Kamara, we were after him too. We were after Yuri Tillemans, we were after him as well. And Ollie Watkins.
Mate, the Emery effect.
The Emery effect.
I'll tell you what, mate.
Let me get to the bench.
Talk to me.
Nico Zaniolo.
Great player for Roma.
Great player.
Very underrated. How old's he now? 26, 27?
He is, good question, 1999, mate.
Wow.
Yeah, he's older than me.
He's young. He's been around the scene for a while.
Yeah. I think, mate, I remember packing him at FIFA too many times, to be honest. Look, I watch a bit of the Serie A, but like you see the highlights, you see the compilations, and before they signed him, I'm like, fair enough. Like this is the type of player I'd imagine would go to like a Spurs or a Liverpool. Or, it gives you that vibe. He's gone to Villa, and honestly, they're thriving with depth.
Cracker left foot.
Yeah,
cracker. Sorry, carry on.
Then Donker. He was at Wolves before. Jacob Ramsey, young English talent coming through. Musa Diaby.
Oof, what a signing. Surely in top 5 signings of the season.
Yeah, 100%.
Has to be mentioned.
Yeah. And our boy Matty Cash as well.
Matty Cash, mate.
Matty Cash.
Polish Cafu.
Polish Cafu, mate. Well, mate. It was my starting right back in FIFA.
So on that note, you've gone through their depth.
Yeah.
Is it too far to say that can Villa do a Leicester? Is that too far to say?
Ooh, well, I've seen Emery bottle 3rd place and end up in 5th with the last 5 games to go. So,
he's a bit of a cup merchant.
Well, he lost the league with PSG, so we'll see how it goes there. But he's not. I don't know. I don't see Emery as a coach that wins leagues.
So you think he's more of a cup man?
He's a cup merchant.
Okay.
But look, I've got nothing against Man City.
Yep.
Personally, I hate a lot more clubs before I hate Man City.
We'll carry on.
We'll get to the club I hate the most later. But yeah, no, I want them to do well.
Yeah.
They're a likable team.
Yes,
I don't look at them and be like, yeah, I can't stand these guys.
Nah.
In all honesty, like that's not the type of team they are. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think mentality is a big thing, and I think City right now are at their lowest they've been in a very, very, very long time.
They have. It's the first time I saw a stat. I think it's in first time since Pep's come that they've lost 4 games in a row.
It's no wins in 4 games.
Wow.
You know what? You know what's funny?
Talk to me.
I saw a stat. Their last 5 games or whatever it was, they've drawn. I think they've won 1, drawn 3, lost 1. Okay.
Shit.
Where's the treatment that we got last season when that happened? When we drew 3 times, lost the game, and won a game. Come on, mate.
Different story. Different story.
Anyway, and mind you, they've got $1 billion team in there too. So, but that's far from. We'll go back to Aston Villa. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think a bit of bias, but I think Arsenal's inevitability is a big thing. I also think Liverpool. I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah,
I just can't. But I still think they'll pick Villa.
Okay. I do think, though, that the Conference League is theirs to take, I'll be honest. I do think that the Conference League is theirs. I do think that for the first time in a while, English clubs are going to win all 3 European competitions.
You reckon?
I do think. Well, I think the Europa League's Liverpool. I would bet a lot of money on that.
Yeah.
And I think the Conference Leagues, the way Villa are playing, not just this game, the way they've been playing all year. Don't forget, they are third in the Premier League table.
Yeah.
Third. Above our 4-time winners. Sorry, 3-time winners. So I do think that the Conference League is theirs as well.
Yeah. And, Champions League.
Man City to win it, or?
I think we're going to cook.
On that note, speaking about a certain team that are not in the Champions League, Manchester United will not be surely advancing into the round of 16.
Oh, mate, miracles have happened before, mate. Miracles have happened. And you know what? I hope Bayern Munich can put another 5 through them. So, to all United fans out there, I really like your club. So,
listen, I've got nothing against United. Fun story. I'm a massive Ronaldo fanboy.
Me too.
Likewise.
Me too. He's my GOAT.
Yes, I think the GOAT conversation is another conversation we're going to do in a different podcast. But
we're going to break the fourth wall here, mate. This podcast is officially united as Ronaldo is the GOAT. Okay?
I second this notion.
Okay. As you can see behind me, Hala Madrid.
Absolutely.
Barca.
In the mud.
Yeah. But yeah.
Back to United.
Back to United.
McSauce. He cooked my club.
Mate, whoever the hell told him you are a centre defensive midfielder?
Yes, should get sacked.
Should get. I don't know what needs to happen to him, but his brain needs to be evaluated. That brother could have been the Scottish unknown, mate.
Yep.
Honestly, the positions he gets in, mate. Martial's crying.
Mate, Kenny Dalglish, regen. Absolutely, 100%. And I was watching some of his goals this morning. Actually, fun fact: when he played for the academy side, he was wearing the number 9 jersey. He was playing as a striker.
Yeah, you can see just the way he gets. He
runs to the box. It's unbelievable.
And he can finish.
Well,
he's the best finisher at the club. Is he not?
I can't argue with that at the moment. I think Rashford, but Rashford's a confidence player.
Oh, the next Mbappe.
We'll get into that convo. But
yeah,
Rashford. At the moment, I would have to agree that McSauce, Scott McTominay. I think the Euros is heading to Scotland. Is that what we're saying, or?
You know what? If my boy is Scotland, I've got a soft spot for Scotland.
Me too.
Even though I'm an England boy. I was born here, raised here, but I'm an England boy.
Yeah. And the fact that Lebanon will never be in the Euros.
At least some of us win Euros. I'd rather not be in it than not win it. So,
fair point.
Put it this way: Scotland, if Kieran Tierney's back, McGinn's cooking, Domino's cooking.
Yeah. Do you want to know who cooked up?
Who?
Back against United Chelsea, Bruno. Bruno stepped up hard.
Bruno Fernandes.
Mate, Fernandes, he stepped up hard. When they needed him, I've always questioned his mentality and leadership as a captain. I think that game showed that when he doesn't do the theatrics, when he doesn't complain, sook, mope, and walk around the field, mate, he's a talented player. He's got to be in the conversation for top 3 attacking. No.
With all due respect, and I know you're a Chelsea fan.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm saying that, and he absolutely
he's playing Chelsea.
Okay.
And that's no disrespect to Poch, but it's what I've seen so far this season. Like the game we played them, tactically, Poch got it right. We were shit. Where Mikel got it completely wrong that game.
Yeah.
We set up, for example, that game to play, a slow building possession football midfield.
Mm-hmm.
They overran us.
Yeah.
They should have scored probably another 2-3 goals. But they fell apart. We got a point out of a game that we should have got nothing out of.
Yes.
Against Manchester United, they can't finish.
No.
They have a better backline than Manchester United do.
Oh, I do think Chelsea have a better backline as well. I do think Chelsea have a better backline than United.
Yeah.
But in that game, you can't say that he didn't play. You can't say that he didn't turn up and literally change.
He did. But name a big game he's turned up for. You could probably.
We're talking about this one, but I agree.
You're talking about Bruno Fernandes as one of the 3 best camps.
I do.
Kevin De Bruyne,
Mm-hmm.
Martin Odegaard, Bernardo Silva. For me, Bernardo Silva's a cam.
Now I think Fernandes is. I think Fernandes is above Silva.
James Maddison.
Maddison is injured. We can't talk about players that are injured.
No. As a player in the Premier League,
Talk to me.
fully fit. De Bruyne, Odegaard, Maddison.
So if you were telling me to pick a starting 11, and I had to pick a cam,
Pick.
Adam Maddison and Fernandes.
You're playing a 4-2-2.
Okay.
You got 2 cams. Who are you picking? Odegaard, De Bruyne, or even Odegaard, Maddison.
Odegaard, Fernandes.
Okay, each to their own, mate. Each to
honest.
their own.
I'll be honest.
I just think it's a sook. I don't like his mentality.
Absolutely. I've never agreed with him being captain, and I never agreed that Harry Maguire should be captain. But I think that you can't doubt his talent and the way that he gets around the pitch and brings other players into the game. Silky.
Yeah, look, fair play, but for me, he's one of those. When times are good, he's good. When times are shit, he goes shit as well.
He's not the type of game, and I think this is why I feel sorry for United fans, where they've always had players, Roy Keane, Gary Neville. They've always had players that grab the game by the scruff of their neck and change it for them.
Yeah.
In moments.
Yeah.
You look at Juventus, Roy Keane. You look at Gary Neville against Liverpool a couple of times.
Look, well, the difference there is they had a team that went with him. And look, maybe
Correct.
I'm being harsh on Fernandes in the sense that he might be doing things and the team's not being able to push with him. The teams might not be on his level.
Yeah.
The players that he's playing with.
Mhm.
But I don't. Like, he's a good player. I'm not discounting that, but I don't like. I think for me, attitude's a big thing. And if you could be the best player in the world, but if your attitude's rubbish, and if your attitude's not consistent, and you want to wear that captain's armband, you got to take a good look at yourself.
Okay.
If I were him, honestly, if I know, I'd have a bit of self-reflection. I know. I'll tell the guy I can't be the captain.
Well, I think on that note, I think we should move on to a team that's full of sooks at the moment. A team that's looking to make excuses for themselves is Chelsea, my team. And I've been a lifelong Chelsea fan all my life.
Yeah.
Love them, been in there through the glory days. And it's a shame to see how low we have fallen, thanks to my American friend Todd Bowley. But
well deserved. Well deserved. All I've heard is Champions League this, Champions League that. Where's your Champions League? Where's this? You can't even make the top 6 anymore.
Listen. I'm absolutely
$1 billion later.
I'm clutching at straws, but it's a shame to see how low we have fallen. It is a shame, and other people may look at us, such as yourself, and point the fingers and point the blame. But as a fan and who's devoted a lot of time and love towards Chelsea, it's a shame. Like, you look at our strikers that we've had in the past.
Yeah.
Eto'o didn't have the best time there, but still made a difference. Drogba made a difference.
Yeah.
Anelka, not the best, better than Torres. And now we've got Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson, or as you like to call him, Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, mate. Astrid Duet's future boyfriend. That's
on an R-rated podcast, Abdul. We cater to all fans, but that's a very slim market. However, it's a shame. Mudryk compared to Hazard.
Yeah.
De Bruyne when he was at the club. Oscar when he was at the club.
Yeah.
And now we're looking to Conor Gallagher to
John Terry, Gary Cahill. You're looking at Badia Shield, Disasi,
39-year-old Thiago Silva.
My grandpa could probably, like, literally, they could play together in the same league and you wouldn't know, mate. Kukurea, Sideshow Bob, Kukurea.
Ben Chilwell was always injured.
Mr. Weekneys, Ben
James,
Chilwell,
and
Reece James as well, glass ankles. Mate, his sister will put a bit of shift.
And then the shining light in the whole thing, Cole Palmer. The shining light as to the reason why I still support Chelsea Football Club.
Look, mate, I've got a name for him. I've got a name for him. I'll leave it off the podcast.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
He's cooking. But, he's cooking with limited resources.
I agree.
You can only make, so much food with an empty pantry.
But even when I watched the game that morning, it was like, when he gets the ball, it's exciting.
Yeah.
When Mudryk gets the ball, there's
not
nothing.
Mudryk's fault, but
I agree. He is a very one-dimensional player. Take the ball, get it past him, and cross. That's all he can do. He can't. But the goal against you guys, I understand.
It's not that. It's the problem with Chelsea isn't the fact that this player's one-dimensional, this player's there. You're trying to develop a whole team at once. You've signed too many raw talents to the point where you're sending them out there and hoping they have the game. It's like when you have an under-15s game And the bloke scored 9 goals against, the guy we had, the 15-year-old Arsenal player. He scored 10 goals against Liverpool.
I think, fun fact, we've actually got the combined age of 15 in our squad for Chelsea.
Mate, with Michael Jackson in there.
But it's concerning, and I do think that we are not going to finish in the top 4. I'll be honest. I do think we're not going to finish in top 4. I don't think we're going to finish in the Europa League places
Brother
as well.
said top 4. You're thinking that high.
I'll be honest. I don't think European football is coming to Stamford Bridge.
No.
On that note, who's your top 4, top 5? If you had to put it now.
In order?
Talk to me.
Okay.
Arsenal win the league. Yeah, next, carry on.
I think Arsenal win the league. And look, I think we've taken a big step.
Yeah.
Big step.
Yeah.
And I think after this, I want to mention about Declan Rice one thing, but we'll get through this first. I think that Manchester City will finish second still.
Okay.
I think that, they're going to go on their annual De Bruyne run where he comes back.
Roger comes back.
He rips half the league. He scores bangers against the bottom sides. And then he comes in and, we go to that. How do we get ripped 3-1? But we still win the league.
Okay.
Liverpool third.
Mm-hmm.
I can't go past that. And if they keep their side on the field, they'll finish third. If there's injuries, I think they'll go for lower than that.
Okay.
I'm gonna put a spanner in the works. I think that top 4 stays the same. I think Villa.
Villa makes 4th.
I think Villa makes 4th. That team it's not Tottenham.
This is very reliable. But I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
The only thing I will change is Liverpool second.
Really?
City third. I'll tell you why. There's a certain man that I've slandered for a while, and all my friends and my family know him, Trent Alexander-Arnold. The brother's cooking. The brother is cooking. He is, I think, 2 goals, 2 assists in his last 4. And he signed the deal with Adidas. Have you seen the goal? Signed the deal with Adidas. Put the Predator boots on and went, fuck it, I'm David Beckham.
just a question.
Talk to me.
Do you reckon he showed his crack on purpose at the game?
I think it's a good marketing move, a good PA move. I heard Calvin Klein's been in contact, and I've heard Bonds have also been in contact from Aussie.
Yeah. Stop myself from making a comment there. But yeah. He's cooking, mate.
Yeah.
He just, for me, I think he's defensively shaky. We saw against Doku. Doku turned him
Yes,
inside
I
and
agree.
back inside like the other way. And don't get me wrong, he scored a goal, very nice goal.
Yeah.
But unless Van Dijk's right next to him, I generally think he struggles.
However, Van Dijk, I think he's having his best season since 1920.
Yeah, I agree.
And he's in the form of his life, and I think he's going to cover for Alexander-Arnold this year. And that's why I think this Christmas, you sort of know, the league sort of knows who the top 2 is, who the top 3 contenders are just after Christmas.
Yeah, 110%.
So I do think, honestly, that Liverpool will make the top 2.
Yeah.
And I do think they will finish second. Reason being is I think Van Dijk's going to carry this form. And I think that City won't have an answer. I think City will run out of path, and their post-Treble Blues will carry out until January.
Yeah.
And the question I pose to you is that, would that be too little time to salvage it for City? Will they have enough games left? Because the majority of games are played in December.
I think that it's not so much City this year. I think other teams have stood up.
I agree. I agree.
I think Arsenal's mentality this year is big. Declan Rice has come in and he's made a big difference. He's rescued. I'll go back. He's rescued about 10 points for us this year.
I think it's 11.
10 or 11,
Yeah.
The goal against Chelsea, that brought it back to a point.
Goal line clearance against Brentford.
The goal line clearance against Brentford. The goal line clearance against Man City as well.
Yep.
The goal he scored against Luton Town.
Like 3. So yeah. It's 10 to 11 points. And we'll get onto him. I generally think he has been the signing of the season. I think Slobosly follows, and I think Maddison and Diaby are in that argument as well. But we'll go back onto Deckers. Big Rice, baby. And I think he's been the side of the season, and I think he's the leading factor alongside that centre-back partnership with Saliba and Gabriel. And I do think that is why I have you guys to win the league.
Yeah, it's mental. Like I go back, I've been saying it: character, mentality, resilience. That all wins you titles.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you can have all the talent in the world, but if your head goes down after you miss one shot, you're not as. I could literally have someone who has half the talent as you, but 10 times the effort, 10 times the mentality, and I'm gonna get more out of them than I am you. Declan Rice embodies character. Yeah. Leadership. He's the captain without the armband.
Well, I think that's where you guys lost it towards the end of the year. You didn't really have that, and Odegaard. He's still young. He's been around the scene since 2014 at Madrid when he was the youngest ever teenager to be signed by them.
Yeah.
But I think that's what you were missing. I think you're a lot stronger. You're a lot taller. You got a presence in the midfield now with
100%.
Rice. And I think he Well, you're looking at West Ham. First European trophy in how long?
Yeah.
And again, the sole reason I believe why they won the Conference League last year. And he's going to carry you guys. He's going to absolutely carry you guys into the first Premiership title.
Look, I don't
since 2004.
I don't think it was solely, mentality last year. I think injuries played a part, but I think it's having, instead of having Partey starting every game, and if Partey doesn't play, you're screwed.
Yeah.
It's now depth. We've got depth in strengths now. Gabriel's injured, Kivior comes on. Zinchenko can't play, Timber's back soon. Tomiyasu can play both sides.
Tommy Cafu, sorry.
Super Tommy Cafu, mate. But no, look, it's honestly quite the signing. Best 100, we've robbed them. Best 105 million we've ever spent. Go give them another 200 million, mate. And it still wouldn't be worth it.
Have you actually donated to the GoFundMe page?
I've
good man.
Proudly. But you know what? I think that top four, it is what, and it's a mix of beautiful football. It's a mix of defensive. Right now, I think the best defensive team in the league
is you guys.
Yeah. And we play Villa on in 12 hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, that will be interesting.
The only thing where obviously we're from Australia and we've had a big affinity to Ange, and we've watched Ange at Brisbane Roar, in Yokohama, Japan, in Scotland, in Celtic, and I know you're going to hold your Arsenal bias, but I do feel a bit sorry for Ange with the injuries he has had, and I think you can agree with that as well.
Yep.
If you can take your Arsenal red lens out of the picture, I do think that we, as Australian fans, we feel sorry for the bloke because he's lost matters. Romero's come back, showed his class as soon as he came back on against West Ham, and he's lost Van der Ven, who's been hard done by in my top 5 signings of the season. But I do think that Tottenham, if they still had matters, if they had Van der Ven, if Perisic didn't get injured and a few others, I do think that Villa would just be pipped by Tottenham into the top 4. Do you have any particular thoughts on Tottenham?
Yes, they have gotten away with so much. Honestly, so much. Like I love Ange as a person, but honestly, I wish him a good payout. I wish they pay him out well, but I hope he that team fucking goes down, mate. Like I love my club too much.
Take the Arsenal jersey
I don't
off.
want to. Okay, this is the problem. Liverpool they went down to 9 men against Chelsea.
Yeah.
Mikel Arteta plays on the halfway line with 9 men. You best believe that they're putting him, his kids, and his wife back to fucking Jupiter, mate.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Ange Postecoglou does it.
But it's exciting.
No,
it
is exciting, mate.
It's exciting.
No, it's because anyone else does that. Jurgen Klopp. The only other person that will get away with it is Jurgen Klopp. He's that loved by the media. He could say what he wants. He could do what he wants. Yeah. Honest to God, they got lucky. Declan Rice got injured when they versed us. Fair play. They took advantage of that Maddison mistake. The Liverpool game.
Yep.
Own goal.
Yep.
They went down to 10 men against Sheffield United. Fair play. You got a lucky goal on a corner.
Yeah.
But they have been getting the rub of the green for most of this season, and it showed the minute 2-3 players drop out. They don't have depth.
I agree.
Their football's not sustainable.
That's where Villa, Arsenal, not so much Liverpool, but Man City. That's why I think Tottenham will not make the top 4 because they haven't got the depth. Brendan Johnson can come on and do a 15-minute cameo, but he's starting now.
And Richarlison scores 1 goal in 37 games.
He missed a big one against West Ham. He missed an absolute sitter, the Brazilian pigeon.
Honestly, fuck Tottenham. honest to God.
Mate, you're Aussie. You can't.
Mate, I don't care. My own father could coach that club.
And what?
And I'd still fucking hate them. Like I said, I'd wish him a good payout as well if he gets sacked, but fuck that club. Honest to God, talking to the camera, mate. I love my club that much. I couldn't care if my own grandfather, my family bought that club, bro. I still wouldn't support them.
This is on camera, by the way.
This is on camera. I'm looking right down to you, Tottenham fans. Fuck your club.
So, are we going to give them the term Bottle Job FC again?
Bottle Job FC.
100%.
They were first place 2 seasons ago after 10 games. And what happened? They barely made the top 4. What happened last season? They didn't even finish in the European position.
Yeah, true.
You know what's sad?
Talk to me.
At 10 games, or whatever it was, after 15 games, I saw a stat. With Conte, they had the same amount of points as Ange.
Yeah, I know.
It's just hipster football.
They've always got a great start, Tottenham. They've always got a good start, I think. Whereas City, especially 2 years as well, they take time to build up to it. But the injuries, I think, will cost them. It will be a bridge too far. Second season will be interesting because I think a lot of teams will figure out how to stop Ange ball. I think a lot of teams.
Park the bus, mate. I was literally, we had the same thing last season. Not everyone came to play Arsenal and get at us. what happened? We ripped into them for the amount of 3 and 4 nils we had in the first 10, 15 games. We were scoring freely. This is the problem with Tottenham, is that no one, has parked the bus. And the one team that did, they had 9 men.
Yeah.
They scored an own goal and won the game against Liverpool. They were sitting there passing around. They could not penetrate. They couldn't, mate.
But Abz, each to their own.
Each to their own.
Every team can go and attack them, and to their detriment. Every team can go and park the bus and go for a counter.
Yeah.
And we saw even against your club in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Sevilla and Lens went at you.
And what happened?
Look what happened, exactly. So we can't slander here and say that Tottenham is this and this and this. But I do think injuries will cost them.
Injuries will cost them. I agree. But at the same time, I still think that the teams, they don't fear them enough yet to park a bus.
Yeah.
And I've watched my team play 80% of its games against teams that park the bus. And the games that haven't been parked the bus, we've scored God knows how many goals. We've absolutely murdered them.
Yeah.
And that's why, I'll go back and say, I think their luck is going to run out. And it's starting to run out now. Last 5 games they've scored first, have not won a single one. Sure. I'm pretty sure they've drawn 1 and lost 4.
Yes.
Okay, so enough about that shit club.
On to the big news of the week.
The Euros draws.
Off to go with Germany. The question is, Abz, are we going to Germany?
Ooh, the Ubf Podcast live from Berlin.
Mate, Allianz Arena, we're there. Take me there.
Mate, let's go. Hey, look, he's excited behind the camera there, mate.
Don't take that the wrong way, fans, please. But, yeah, so group, have you pointed out a single group? Obviously, I've got a big allegiance to my country, but have you got a single group that you think is going to be more challenging than another? Would you agree if I say Croatia is in the group of death?
For our viewers, do you want to run through the groups?
Okay, I'll get them up for you. All I know is that let me get it up for you guys. I do think this is the last chance for Croatia as well to make a charge for it.
Yeah, for their one and only, their best player since Suka.
He's the best player that is Croatia has ever seen, I do think.
Yeah.
And it's a shame we did get robbed against France. I don't care what you say, we got robbed. That was never a handball. And that was never a foul on Griezmann.
Get over it.
No, we'll never get over it.
Get over it, mate. You were never winning that game anyway, mate.
The single greatest footballing moment in my life. And for the first 60 minutes we had him.
Listen, I love Croatians. I love them. But you were never winning that game.
On to the Euro groups. Group A, we have the hosts, Germany, Hungary, Scotland, and Switzerland. Who do you think gets out of that one?
Germany.
In first?
Yep. So you said Hungary,
Scotland, and Switzerland.
Oh, the Swiss. It's between Switzerland and Scotland, in all honesty.
I think McSauce and the Scottish Jordan Henderson.
Boy, Granite, but come on, man.
I know you're a fair boy of Granite, but I do think, in my opinion, if they play Kai Havertz at left back, they're going to come first.
Let him cook, mate. Let him cook.
So let him cook from left back. I think Germany and Scotland. Would you agree with me on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's not much between Switzerland and Scotland. There won't be much.
It'll be 1 point in it.
Yeah.
Or it wouldn't surprise me if it goes to goal difference.
My boy Jordan will come out with the winged angle, mate.
Well, speaking of Albania, Group B, Albania, Croatia, Italy, and Spain. In my opinion, I think it finishes Albania second, Croatia first. Talk to me, Abdul.
Spain, Italy.
You could think Croatia getting knocked out. I think Italy, since the Euros, have had a bit of a dip. I think they were very lucky to escape against Ukraine twice. The first game they actually played against Ukraine, they drew. And they drew against Macedonia in the past 2 big against Switzerland. Against Sweden, they knocked him out in 2018. Sweden knocked him out. And Macedonia knocked him out at the World Cup. So I do think Spain finished first. I would have to agree with you. And I think Croatia finished second, in my opinion.
Take your Croatian eyes off, as you were telling me, mate, or your Croatian shirt off.
That's not coming off, mate. I sleep in this.
Italy have depth, man.
You don't see it for Crow?
I want to see it. I want to.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Can't say it.
And it's sad because Luka, I love Luka.
Yeah.
I'm an Arsenal boy through and through, but I'm a Madrid boy as well.
I tried to convince him to get the Odegaard jersey off the wall and put Modric on there, but we'll get there in future podcasts.
Look, Bellingham, mate, Bellingham.
Group C,
yeah.
Denmark, England, the country that shall not be mentioned, and Slovenia, Serbia. Talk to me.
England, I think so.
Yep, I agree.
Serbia's cooking.
Serbia's not cooking, but they are a dark horse.
They're cooking.
They're a dark horse.
Yeah, you know they're cooking, mate. You know they're cooking, mate.
I fear 2-3 players. I do think that Denmark have been a dark horse, especially at the Euros, where they got to the semis against England. And they were hardly done by an extra time. That was never a penalty, in my opinion. But I do think England, and then it's a toss-up between Serbia and Denmark, in my opinion. Toss-up. I'll let you have the final say on that. What are you thinking?
I think Serbia. Honestly, I think Serbia have looked good. Like I've watched a few of the games over the last few international breaks, and they're one team that's kind of caught the eye. And you're gonna hate me for this. I think there's a good chance they go further. If Croatia make it through, I think Serbia might just pip them. It's a younger team now. There's a few good players coming through there, mate. Milinkovic-Savic is coming good again.
How old's he now? 20?
No, Serge
is young?
He's 28, 29, isn't he? I think so.
This is coming into his prime. Maybe just eclipsed them.
I think so. And since he's gone to the Saudi League, I honestly think like the Saudi League's helping some players.
Oh, it's cooking.
A lot. Like
Mitrovic.
Yeah, fuck it. There's another one, mate. There's another one, mate.
Shit, I'm scared.
But I'm telling you now, I think Serbia will do well. Yeah. And it's not so much that they've got a standout player. That team is playing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Serbia and England make it through, but they'll make it tough for England.
Yeah. Speaking of my second group of death, if we were to put a second group of death on it, Austria, France, Netherlands, and possibly win a playoff A, which I believe contains Greece or Wales, which I believe.
So it was Austria,
France, Netherlands, and possibly Wales, which I think will make.
France, Netherlands, mate.
France, Netherlands.
France and Netherlands.
Don't forget at the Nations League where Croatia got beaten in the final, we literally destroyed Netherlands. We destroyed them. We had possession. We conceded a late goal to Noah Lang in the last minute of the game.
Yeah.
And then we pumped him in extra time. But throughout that whole game, Netherlands have been looking shaky. And we all know that Ronald Koeman is not the best manager. But I do think that Wales and Austria could make it difficult for the Netherlands.
This is my logic with these teams.
Talk to me.
The squads are so big and so deep in quality players.
They've got a talent pool.
If one player's not playing, don't worry. The guy waiting for him on the bench will. So
and they are established players as well.
And they are. And it's quality. That France team's quality. They got about 4 or 5 layers of like teams that you could literally fill a World Cup.
You got A, B, C, D.
Literally. Like, look at the depth they've got at centre-back alone. I could sit there and name like 4 different centre-back partnerships.
Honestly, I think next week's podcast is just naming the French centre-backs.
Yeah, we'll go through like the 4 teams. We'll have a whole group of French teams. And Netherlands is the same, mate. Like,
so you think first France, second Netherlands?
Okay. It could even be the other way around. Like, it's a toss-up. Because I think Netherlands is a talented team.
Yeah.
If they get their shit together, like, you know, you've got one of the best centre-backs in the world, if not the best, in Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah.
You got Memphis Depay, who's starting to look good again.
His other centre-back partner's not bad as well.
Yeah. And you got your Bergwijns who are looking good in...
the boy Xavi.
Yeah, Xavi Simons, mate.
Mate, cooking.
He's cooking. Oh, that Rabona he hit the other weekend, mate.
Cooking.
Oh, my Lord, mate. We should have signed him. We were looking at him last season.
Saucy. I don't mind his little celebration as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so Group E. I think this is quite simple for me. Belgium, Romania, Slovakia, and possibly either Estonia as win a playoff B. Belgium, Romania for me.
Who's the other one? Estonia,
possibly.
Karl Hein, mate. He's going to cook.
Well, in Romania, you got Haji's son.
Yeah.
Not bad as well.
Yeah.
I think their keeper's not bad. I think their keeper plays for Napoli, does he?
Romania.
I think so. Starts with T.
Isn't it Lazio?
Lazio.
I'm not sure. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, it's the keeper that starts with T. I wouldn't have a clue though.
I've packed him a few times in FIFA. I wouldn't know the name, but yeah. And you said who's the 4th team? The playoff?
Estonia, possibly. So you got Belgium, Romania, Slovakia, and possibly Estonia.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay. I gotta go with you. But Karl Hein, mate, if he gets a chance, they're gonna let him cook. We're gonna make some profit off him. So
Group F, I think another interesting one. I think it's straightforward though. You got Czech Republic, Portugal, Turkey, and possibly Georgia, who I see as winner playoff C.
Portugal
and Turkey. Listen, I'll tell you what. Turkey were in Croatia's qualifying group. They made it hard. They made it hard for every team. They actually finished on top.
Yeah.
They got put into pot 2. That's why they ranked in the second best team. That's why they avoid the likes of.
They're no nonsense.
Yeah,
like honestly.
And every single position, they haven't got a star. Similar to Serbia, they haven't got a star.
Yeah.
Besides maybe Çalhanoğlu, but they are robust. They're strong. They're difficult to play against, and their striker. Their striker. I was actually watching the Croat-Turkey game, the second one where they played in Croatia. Their striker, tall, lanky.
Yilmaz.
But yes, Yilmaz.
Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah.
Rapid. Mate, I'll tell you what. I think he's the player to watch in Group F.
I'm pretty sure he was one of the main reasons they won the league at Lille a few years ago. He was killing it up front.
Quick.
He is, yeah. He's a top player. And look, mate, they're my neighbours.
So after all that, it'll be pretty much impossible to make the whole draw and stuff like that. We'll leave it for another time.
Yeah.
But I don't see a world where either France or England don't make the final. Would you agree with me on that?
I think it's time.
You think it's time to come home?
I think it's time.
You think the Euros are coming home?
I think Saka redeemed himself this time. Honestly, I could see him. And I saw a video, I think it was Don Robbie that was talking about it a few weeks ago, mate. He said that he thinks Saka could very well be the player of the tournament. Yeah. And I think he had like 17 goals and assists already this season. And we're calling that a slow start.
He's different. Saka's different.
He is going to cook whoever's coming. I feel bad for the left backs that are going to have to
He cooks the group.
Yeah.
England absolutely get. I don't see a world where they don't win every game.
Yeah. And look, personally, I'm not a fan of Southgate.
No, me too.
Too many favourites. But anyway, I don't know what the fuck happened.
In that generation, I don't understand why you are playing with two holding midfielders. I don't understand.
Yeah, what the fuck's Maguire still doing in the team, mate? Yeah, he won player. He just won player of the month.
Player of the month.
But for fuck's sake, mate, we're playing France and Mbappe. Don't forget to play fucking, Harry Maguire on the halfway line.
Does he make your ultimate team squad? Are you doing the player of the month?
I am, mate. Slabhead's coming in. 80 pace, mate.
82, actually.
80, yeah.
Shit.
It's fucked, mate.
The only thing that EA missed was a power header trait. Besides that, would have been all right.
Oh, he might have it. He might have it. I've got to check. He might have that trait.
Can someone check that in the comments? Can someone let us know?
We'll have a look.
But yeah, I do think that England or France do make the final.
Oh, 110%. I think France. I'm more certain about England getting through than France. It's just a matter of can England just get over that final hurdle, because they're a bit like Spurs. They're just like bottle drops. We haven't won anything since 1950. 56, I think. 66.
The best thing that Southgate's done was miss the penalty for England. So, in a crucial game as well. So, almost certain that I do think England finish in the top two in that tournament. I don't see how that generation, and my boy behind you, I don't see how he doesn't carry that team as the unofficial captain, in my opinion, as the best player in that squad. Yeah. I don't see how he doesn't. Yeah. He doesn't lift them.
Honestly, that one of the boys in that England team's winning the lot this year. To be honest with you, whether it's
Madison,
whether it's Jude, fuck Spurs, man.
Hey, he gets in the starting 11 of England.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No,
absolutely.
He does not.
Okay, go.
Over who?
Tommy's starting 11.
Over who?
Tommy's starting 11.
All right. I think is it what I think will happen or what I want to happen?
If you were the England manager tomorrow and you had the Euro final, talk to me.
All right. So, on the basis of Ramsdale doesn't play that often and he doesn't play much for England, I'd still go with Pickford.
Yep.
All right. I think right back's clear. I think it's Walker.
Yep, absolutely.
And I'm not playing a back five.
No.
All right. I think John Stones.
Yep.
And I think Ben White.
Yeah, I did say the stipulation was that you were to be manager, so I wouldn't play Maguire there.
Name another centre back that'll go ahead of Ben White.
Fikayo Tomori.
You on about, man?
Tomori, mate.
Nah.
Tomori.
This
Tomori is an absolute baller.
Yeah, but he is.
He's a baller.
With the players that England have right now in Europe, Ben White as a defender is better than most.
Take the Arsenal jersey off.
England.
Oh, in the Prem.
In the Prem, out of the English centre backs, okay, Fikayo Tomori, fair enough. Yeah. But I think there should be a spot with him. If not, you could toss him up. You got Tomori, you've got Konze, you've got White.
Yeah.
So, he's going to pick Maguire.
Left back Luke Shaw.
I like Chilwell, but I don't think he's fit enough to play.
Shaw's more talented than Chilwell.
Yeah.
Saying from a Chelsea fan.
Yeah.
I think Shaw naturally more talented left back. Might want to keep off the donuts, but talented.
John Cena, mate. John Cena. I know. I think I like Chilwell more, but I do think Shaw just fits that back four a bit better than Chilwell does. Chilwell's a bit too glass knees for me.
We're going 4-3-3.
4-3-3.
Are we playing a 6, 8, and 10?
A 6,
8, and 10.
6 and 2 8s. Oh yeah, 6, 8, 10, or 2 8s and a 10. I was gonna
2 8s and a 10. Talk to me.
Jude
as a 8. As a 10.
For me, this is how I'd set it up.
Talk to me.
I've got Jude there. as much as I want to put Phillips there, I don't think he goes there. I think Foden for me sits in front of both of them.
Yeah.
In the midfield.
Mm-hmm. Foden has the 10, Bellingham on the right. Who's on your left?
It's tough. This is the problem. We've been so used to seeing Phillips play with Bellingham.
Or Henderson.
But no.
Can I say a shout?
Conor Gallagher.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's the other one I was.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I think it's just legs, mate.
Mm.
It's for me. If you're gonna play Jude, you need someone that can run with him. And I think this team's well enough with John Stones in the back.
Yeah.
To be able to step into midfield.
Correct.
And that's what I mean about playing Ben White as well. You've got that. He played CDM for Leeds for 45 games or whatever it is, 40 in the
But Stones has been known, and I think he's accustomed to Pep now, where Stones might want to venture forward, and Ben White, I know they're professionals, and I know that they're going to do what they're told.
Yeah.
But I think if you're going to play Stones, you need someone a bit more defensive. That's why I think he plays Maguire, and that's why I would personally play for Kaya Tomori, in my opinion.
Yeah,
because Stones does like to venture a bit forward. You know that.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't think Tomori is much of a ball playing. He is a top. He's very similar to Varane for me. I think if I'm going to liken him to a centre back, it's more Varane than anything. Where he's capable of passing, but his pace and his build just gets him to where he wants to be. He's able to get in front of the attackers a lot easier than most.
Yeah.
But
I think you can sacrifice. You can play one ball playing such as John Stones, and then you could go with such really the natural build for a defender.
Do you want the sad reality?
Tell me.
It's Stones and Maguire.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that's the sad reality. Like, as much as I want to say that, you know, I want to play, you want to play Ben White, you want to play Tomori.
Yeah.
It's Maguire.
Yeah.
It is Maguire. And I think because England don't have another
We
centre
love
back.
you, Harry. We love you, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do your SPC, don't worry.
But get back to that midfield three. Gallagher, Bellingham. I do think Maddison, if he's fit, gets over Foden.
It's Phillips. It's sad, again, sad reality. It's Phillips. They don't have another CDM.
It's sad for me because the generational talent that they have
is ridiculous.
And trust me, there was never a better moment in my life than that when we beat England. There was never a better moment in my life when Croatia beat England in 2018.
Yeah.
But I can't doubt the talent that they've got. And I think it would be a shame to not utilise it.
Yeah.
So if we were to quickly sum it up, right back, Walker, Stones, your boy Ben White, left Shaw, Gallagher, Bellingham, Maddison. Would you give me Maddison? You give me Foden.
Foden.
Okay.
I'd probably go either Gallagher or Phillips.
Okay.
Toss up, depends what type of game it is. Then have Jude and Foden.
Yeah.
Or Jude and Foden, what do you want to put it that way?
Left wing Grealish?
Nah.
Jackie boy?
No.
Star boy?
No. As much as I give him shit, it's Marcus Rashford. I think you go.
Wow.
I think you go Marcus Rashford. I think you go Harry Kane and Bukayo Saka.
Bukayo Saka, Harry Kane.
Or even Sterling. Sterling Rashford. I actually Sterling, Kane, Saka.
I think Grealish as a fan, and I think Grealish has got just that little edge about him.
I agree. If it wasn't Kane at striker.
Where would you play them? You would play Sterling.
If I had like a Ollie Watkins or
and Ivan Toney.
Not even actually. If I had just a quicker striker, if I had a striker that was in the build of like Jesus or like your Depay's or something like that, someone who's a bit more nimble. Yeah, I'd play Grealish. I don't need another player that can control the ball as well as Kane. I think with Kane, you give him two players that can run off him, and Saka's creative enough as it is.
Yeah, on the right, 100%. I just think Grealish offers you something. I think Grealish, Sterling, there's players like him.
Yeah.
And he had an unbelievable Euro last time around. Unbelievable Euro. But I think Grealish offers you something different.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yep.
But for me, on a tactical point of view, I don't think you play him and Kane. I don't think you can't be playing on the same team. It's not like Grealish is one of those like Maddison. You could stick him on the right and just have him fuck whip the ball into Kane. You can't. He likes to hold the ball. He's as FIFA would say, he's press proven.
So that's Abdul's 11 to win England the Euros.
Yeah. Okay. I'll run you quick through it again. So Pickford, Shaw, Stones, Maguire.
Yep.
Okay. Kyle Walker.
Yep.
Okay, we've got Phillips, Bellingham, and Foden.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got Sterling, Rashford on the left, whoever you want to play.
Yep.
Kane and Saka.
Gallagher's hard done, boy. However, I think the best club competition in the world, and the best competition in the world, I think, is
Conference League.
Europa League, Chelsea, Urchins. I do think it is the Champions League, and obviously it's coming to its climactic end for the group stage next week. I know you've a bit of a betting man.
No, I don't bet. It's hot on, bro.
If you want to take me through those odds, and I'll let you know if I agree with them.
Yeah, so I don't have the odds written down here, mate, but I'm going to run you through the order that they had. And mind you, I think between the first and fourth favourite was not much.
Okay.
It was City, then Real Madrid, then Bayern Munich, then Arsenal.
Okay.
And then Barca and PSG were a bit further out at fifth and sixth favourites.
Okay.
So that's interesting.
Because we've got the 6 favourites.
Yep.
Who do you? Your 4 semi-finalists, regardless of how the draw will pan out, and in terms of who are my bold friend that UEFA draws, who would you put as your final 4?
It's that first 4. Literally, I think City.
Run me through it again, sorry.
City,
Yep.
Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Arsenal, and it's only right if it's City versus Real and then Bayern Munich versus Arsenal on the other end. Arsenal come back 7 years later, revenge, mate. 2 legs, revenge.
5-2. Sorry, 5-1.
Wasn't that the same score I beat you in FIFA with?
I think that was a good friend, Matt.
That was a good friend, Matt.
Yeah.
Sorry, what about the 5 goals that Kai Havertz scored against you? Anyway,
they're all off quarters. I can't defend quarters, guys.
So
you think it's our final 4?
I think so. You know what? I think Arsenal on their day, and I'm going back to Arsenal, can beat any of these teams at their best.
If they go at you or if they park a low block.
Bayern Munich's not going to come and park a bus against us.
No, I agree on that. I think City, in their recent form, Pep's not going to scrap his philosophy because I don't think he's that type of guy. But I do think that when they get Rodri back, I think he's going to be able not to shut down my good Norwegian friend, but I do think that he's going to play smarter. And I do think that tactically, not outmatch Mikel, but I do think that he's going to take a very smart approach to that game.
No, he will. And this is the thing. I know that if it gets to a point where he just goes, fuck it, I'm not going to win the league, I think they win the Champions League. I think City are very much people are forgetting how good they are.
Yep.
It's 4 or 5 games and you're forgetting that Pep Guardiola absolutely steamrolled the whole Premier League last year, steamrolled the Champions League, and then just take the piss, got one of the trouble against Manchester United in the FA Cup. You can't forget that. I think City on their day, if they show up, they beat anyone.
For me, so your winner would be Man City?
No, I actually think
Arsenal do the double.
I actually
big surprise,
think
guys. Big surprise.
No. See, I need to take my Arsenal goggles off. I think we can win it.
Yeah,
I think we can. I don't know if we will. I don't want to win it with that new format. In all honesty, as a fan,
it's a shitty format. I'll be honest.
Bayern Munich.
I'll do one thing for you, and I think our viewers will appreciate it. There's only one team to win it, guys. There's only one team to win it.
Belly goal.
Belly goal. Have you seen the memes?
Yeah.
They're hilarious. They're unbelievable. I love the one with the sloth.
Mate.
It's so slow.
I know.
But no, I do think Real Madrid to win it. I think Real Madrid to win it. And I think, honestly, they're playing with a robustness. Rodrigo is cooking up front. Bellingham, do I need to say anymore?
He's cooking up front. He's cooking at the back. He's cooking in the kitchen. He's cooking on the field. Mate, that bloke's cooking for a living now. So, no, I agree. Look, I agree to extent. I just think Bayern Munich look good, man. Harry Kane is on fire. If he brings that into the Champions League,
Guys, that's a momentous thing. I think the Arsenal goggles came off there for a second.
He doesn't play for Tottenham anymore.
I
like the bloke. He doesn't play for Tottenham anymore. Even he knew that was shit. He had to leave. Anyway,
but in terms of that, Madrid and Bayern Munich, you think are the favourites? Yes.
Yes. No, I think it's City and Real.
Okay.
I think though Bayern Munich is a sleeper.
Yeah.
And I think we're possibly a sleeper.
Yeah.
I think if we get the right draw, I think there's every chance.
Chelsea a show?
In what?
For next year. No worries.
Next year?
We're coming.
Mate, it's when Nicholas Jackson and Medewicky are playing Champions League and at home on FIFA, mate.
Noni Medewicky, mate. Oh, what a player. What a player he was against Lampard for 2 games.
Anyways.
Anyway, so in terms of that, do you have any fixtures for next week to sort of wrap up our podcast this week? Fixtures that you're looking forward to?
I think we're looking forward to the Villa Arsenal one for sure.
Yeah, 12 hours.
That's a big one.
First v third.
Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see had that last week of the Champions League. It goes Bayern Munich versus Manchester United.
I think Copenhagen versus Galatasaray. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm praying for one of them to win. I don't care who.
Yeah. Just one of them.
I want Ziyech. Actually, no, I hate the prick when he played for Chelsea. It's so unproductive. But
Look, this is for another time, but I'm so willing to sit there for an hour and talk about the amount of talented players that have gone to Chelsea and Manchester United and just absolutely flopped, lost their confidence, and become nobodies. So do not say you hate him. He was not a flop. Your club is shit. Anyway, go on.
my club is not shit, just for our Chelsea fans out there. Hopefully there's many. But I do think that I think Galatasaray will come out of that group. They got Zaha on the other side, ZX there, cooking. Icardi, I don't care what anyone says, is not a utility player. He just gets the job done. Even at Inter when he was there, he was all right.
Dries Mertens.
Mertens is there as well.
Yeah.
And mate, Muslera's been there since fucking when I was born, 2001. That's showing my age, but
What a baby.
but I do think that Galatasaray will come through, and that's my matchup of the week. To be honest, I think Bayern versus United.
Yeah.
I would love, just to rub it into my United fans, I would love for Man U to win, but Galatasaray win as well, and they just don't have enough points to make it into the top two.
Just hope Manchester United get smacked 4-0 just to make them ensure that you're not playing, mate. This isn't your level. This is not your level. Go enjoy winning games against these shit teams in Premier League. Go have fun. That's your level. Your level is Europa League. You won't even make Europa League, mate. They won't even make it.
Are you speaking to me personally as a Chelsea fan?
No, as to the United, Manchester United board, fans, players. You're not making it. You're not. You know that. you really know that. But yeah,
the Glazers out, by the way.
What is it?
Glazers out.
Glazers out. Oh, no, Glazers out, mate. They should have been bought by the Qatarians.
And to wrap it up, Abdul, if you were to pick a team of the week that you sort of think is surprising people, for me, I would like to especially mention my boy Xavi Alonso with Bayer Leverkusen in Germany. I know. I personally watch a lot of Bundesliga. Abdul watches mainly a lot of Prem and Serie A.
Yeah.
But for me, I think he's doing something really well there. And Mourinho actually had an interview with him. Sorry, Mourinho actually commented on him, I think a year ago, where he was saying that if you look who Xavi's played around and the leaders that he's played around, he has played under Pep in Bayern, he's played under Mourinho, and he's played under Ancelotti.
Yeah.
Three of the best coaches that we've had.
Yeah.
We've had the pleasure of watching him players speak so highly of. So I think he's bound to become a really good manager. You can see what he's doing at Leverkusen. They are first with equal games to Bayern.
Yeah.
And the way they are playing, some of the football they've got, and Frimpong, my boy Danny Aarons, loves Jeremy Frimpong, but he's doing good over there. There's a lot of players. Xhaka, your boy.
I'm copping that, Xhaka.
Mate, Jonathan Tah.
Oh, yeah.
There's a few. Yeah. There's a few of them.
Patrick Schick. Oh, come on, mate. We can keep going, mate.
But I think for me, Bayer Leverkusen, mate, they deserve a special mention as well. Who would you, besides Arsenal, obviously, because you're going to mention them, who would you say is underrated team to sort of close out our podcast and we can maybe have a chat about next week?
Maybe a bit obvious. Aston Villa.
Yeah.
You can't go past the good evening ball. The way he's got him playing, the way I'd never seen Manchester City pinned down like that.
Yeah, it was
ever.
Incredible. It was incredible to watch.
It was satisfying to watch because they do
it
it
felt
with other
good.
teams.
It felt good.
Yeah, and it's just I love Emery. I never hated him at Arsenal. I just think it was the right coach at the wrong time. We needed a rebuild after Wenger, and it's. I'm just happy for him that he's doing well at Villa.
It's a shame. Sorry to cut you off, but it's a shame where I think that there was always the next coach after Wenger. There was always going to be a period where players and fans especially would need to take time to adapt to their style and have a look at them and go, shit, this Arsenal's not here anymore. Yeah. And they, unfortunately, Emery, I think, was hard done by. I'll be honest, I thought Emery was hard done by, but good on him, credit to him. And he went back to Villarreal, I believe, and he cooked over there. And then,
back at Villa.
Mate, Europa League, he just killed him. And for me, it's a shame, but good on him. I hope they do make top four, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe not at the expense of my club. Do I think that's going to happen? Absolutely.
Just get your club out of this conversation. Yeah. No, I agree with you, bro. I really do.
Yeah.
I just wish him. I wish him the best.
Yeah.
But I wish us better. So, yeah. I think we'll end it on that note, to be honest. Again, I'd like to thank the Bella Vista Hotel.
Yeah, absolutely.
The facilities here are insane.
Incredible.
We appreciate it. And I think that's it from us this week.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been Thomas.
I've been Abdul.
And this is the United by Football podcast. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Ciao.